All right, let's try this again. Happy Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. We're setting this up again. Had a little technical difficulty uh, with the little camera here, but we're back. We're going to keep it going. If the camera freezes or whatnot, I'm just going to keep plugging away. You'll be able to hear me throughout. So hopefully the camera will not do that again. Hi, Christina. I appreciate you. Thank you for jumping on. JD, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. JD, what are we talking about today? Sports this week. We'll get into that here in a little bit. First and foremost, let's start the show off by sharing. So please, please share this as I'm going through. It's Friday the 13th. I'm just going to blame it on that, right? That's why things are going haywire this morning already. Because of that, right? That's what we're gonna say. We'll say that. Yeah, that works for me. But first and foremost, we have to give a huge shout out and happy birthday to the United States Navy. 248 years of the best Navy in the world. So, to all you Navy vets, all you current active duty Navy personnel, happy birthday, Navy. We appreciate you. What do we got here? JD. No sports show this week. Finally got on. Nice. Wow, I can't believe you guys got sick. I'm glad you guys are feeling better though. I'll say that. I'm glad you all are feeling better. It's Friday the 13th. And there's a lot I want to cover today. So leave your comments, share this, because some of the stuff we're going to talk about today is probably going to be it's going to be controversial. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on over in Israel. But again, shout out to all the United States Navy. Happy birthday, 248 years of kicking ass and taking names on the seas. So happy birthday, Navy. What else here? JD. JD, happy early birthday to you, JD. Happy early birthday to you. JD will be turning 100 this year, and so happy birthday. He's a century plus behind the Navy, but nonetheless, he looks good for his age. So Ryan Hunt, good morning, sir. How are you? Thank you for jumping on to say hello. Much appreciated. Appreciate you guys jumping on this morning. This is great because beginning of this, they had a little technical difficulties. So hopefully the camera will not freeze on me again. Let's get. I got to give a couple shout outs here, other than Navy. I got to give my man Ivan Jackson, Mr. Jackson, a big shout out. I got a last week I shared with you guys this. Ivan's an Air Force veteran, and he's got this hot sauce called El Diablo Borracho, and I'm pretty sure I said that right because I was practicing it for a couple hours last week. But go check him out on Facebook. It's Diablo Borracho Hot Sauce, and then you can find him on Instagram at El Diablo _Borracho. This stuff is hot. But it's not like hot where it's destroying your taste buds. It's got a kick to it, and it'll make you sweat. But the stuff is fantastic. The mango trip was good. I like the Thai zinc. It's absolutely amazing. So go ahead, give this veteran-owned business a shout out. Go check them out. And if you like spicy food, it's great on chicken, on beef. I've had it both on that. So go check him out, please. Wes, good morning to you, Wes Young. Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it's good stuff, JD. I like it. So proud of Ivan Jackson, Mr. Jackson. We'll appreciate you, salute you. Thank you for sending me these tasty hot treats. Next up, another veteran-owned company, Sisu Stamina. If you go to ulauniverse.com, and give this stuff a try, their Sisu Stamina supplement. It is a chewable tablet and it helps you stay razor focused. I've been on it now for a little over 2.5, 3 weeks. And every time that I take it, I usually take mine around between 12:30 and 1. It helps me get through the rest of the day. I get focused, I get a lot done. I absolutely love this stuff. Here's the cool thing about this. If you go to ulauniverse.com and you use promo code HEROES10, they're going to give you 10% off at checkout. So make sure you check them out. Listen, guys. All right, let's dive into the elephant in the room and what's happening. Not me. What's going on in over near the Middle East and in Israel. What is your guys' understanding? And I'm opening this up to the floor, and I want to say this first. Everything that I'm about to say does not go against one. It doesn't go against Israeli or Palestinian. I'm not, Hamas, however, is a different story. I think what Hamas is doing is, my personal opinion, is horrific and disgusting. And yeah, but where's all of this coming from? Gabriel, what's up, brother? Appreciate you jumping on as always. So what is going on? It's Friday the 13th today. This whole week has just been one giant beep show. I beat myself there. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but I don't understand. Why is this stuff happening? You kind of have to understand where it all is coming from, right? Gabriel says, let me throw this up here. That makes a good point. You got to understand the history behind of what's happening right now. And then researching a lot of this stuff, when you look at it, it kind of, some of the stuff only goes back to like the 40s and stuff like that. and what I found was the foundation of Israel in 1948 marked a pivotal movement in Middle East histories, following centuries of Jewish and the Zion movement, which began in the late 19th century, sought to establish Jewish homeland in Palestine. However, in the United Nations decision to partition Palestine in 1947 resulted in the establishment of Israel, leading to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. Now, that was one of the things that I've looked up, but it goes back so much further than that, right? So we have a battle going on, and the displacement and occupation, the conflict between Israel and Hamas can be traced back to the displacement of Palestinians and the Israel occupation of territories such as the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. This occupation fueled resentment and resistance among Palestinians. And I'm reading you right now, kind of, and this is actually an article I've been working on for the last week, putting together. It'll kind of tie in like who's at fault. It's very complex, so I'm not going to go into it too much as far as the complexity of it here on the show. But there's a lot that you really dive into and you learn about how what's happening today. But then I got down the rabbit hole, and I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you right now are thinking, "Oh crap, here we go. It's going to be conspiracy, this, and this." It's not. Again, this is nothing more than to spark something within you to look it up for yourself. But um, how did Hamas get into Israel? How did they cross that border into? Um, they used the paragliders, right? Ryan, yeah, Ryan, I agree. I agree. What do we have here? Gabriel, Abraham's son, Isaac, yeah. Hey, Gabriel, Gabriel Wren is very educated on the Bible, so I agree with both of you. You know, it's you're looking at this, and I'm going to say it's a holy war. What's been going on for literally centuries. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If you don't agree, let's have a conversation about it. But I think that's what's really what's happening here. But fast forward to this. How did this all start? You have these There was a video of Hamas showing how to get into Israel, right? And they were using those paragliders with you sit on your ass and you got the engine on your back and the giant parasail or the parachute looking thing, right? I don't know. Forget. I know I'm not calling it the right thing, but um, and then you see a bunch of them just kind of flying over. They did a video on that prior to actually doing it. We all seen the video. You've all seen the footage. I don't. Do I have the? I don't. It's good. You see the footage on. You go to social media right now, or any one of the mainstream idiots. They're posting that stuff on. You can see them flying in these parasailing in with those engines on their back, right? And the thing that gets me is how do I ask this question? Where was once they came, it landed and started the attacks? The Israeli Air Force showed up 2 hours later. And again, I want to state, I'm not blaming what I'm about to say. I'm not blaming lack of intel or anything like that. I'm not saying that. This is for you guys to think about. And real quick, yeah, Ryan's right. The atrocities, tragedy, what they're doing, and Ryan, I'll get into this in a second. But the Israeli Air Force has over 300 F-16 fighter jets. How fast is an F-16? And they're different. There's different models of the F-16. I think Israel has 5 or 6 different models. An F-16 travels around Mach 2. How long does it take to scramble an F-16 fighter? Mind you, they have 300. Okay. Then the next question. So think about that first. How long does it take to scramble an F-16 squadron or a fighter? 1. 2, how fast is it? They go about Mach 2, right? So those are important keys to know here. The next question is what's the width of Israel? What's the geographic terrain of Israel? What does that look like? There are some sections, the width is only about, I think, 6 miles or 16 miles in width. Some are like 72 miles in width. And it's not too incredibly big. So for them to land, start doing damage, and then 2 hours later, now I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this. and that's not my. I'm just using this to say what happened, what's going on. Okay, so Ryan, good point. So now, Ryan, what the question I have is if it takes time to go through approvals and certain channels to launch, is there not a um, quick reaction force or a on like an on call something to make it go? Yeah, I'm not even gonna repeat that, Ryan, but that's another thing, and I'll be talking about at happy hour next week. So anyway, with everything that's going on over there, and what Hamas is doing is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. And they're showing videos of murdering people and beheading of little children and babies. It's disgusting. And it's yeah. Um so here's the other thing I found out. I was watching I was scrolling through and it just happened to land on Dan Bongino. Shout out to Dan. Uh and there was an article or something that popped up said NYPD orders cops to report in uniform after Hamas calls for global protests. Now, those of you that don't know or haven't seen it, but the leader of Hamas has this week called for a global protest. Now, here's the thing: the NYPD. Most people don't realize this, but the NYPD has its own terrorist task force. They have resources in other countries that they don't. They can go through the federal government, but they have their own lines that they don't have to. That's how big the NYPD is, and they don't take the NYPD. It's a big organization. They don't uh, often call for. They don't do this much where they call every officer of the NYPD in uniform, so they know something's going on. They know something, and this isn't. I'm not saying this to say, okay, we need to be fearful or anything like that. No, we should always be proficient, and we should always have our heads on a swivel. Those of you that are in this thread, mostly military, understand that it's nothing that we haven't talked about or anything like that before. What do we have here? JD, QRF, Ryan, communications where they fail the biggest. Yeah, and Ryan, that's a good point too. Communication is definitely key. um, being prepared is not being fearful. That is true, JD. And we'll put that up there. So yeah, you want to be prepared. So here, my question now is, with everything that's been going on, how many of you own a firearm, know how to use it, have trained with it? Because here's the thing: if you don't have a firearm, you may after this week you may want to consider it. And I'm not saying that to instill fear. I'm not saying that. This is something I've always been a big proponent of the Second Amendment, and training responsibly. Uh, but when the NYPD orders all their orders all their cops to report in uniform after the leader of Hamas calls for a global protest, there's something there. That's a red flag to me. And that should be for everybody else. What's going on? And here's the thing. There's just so much for this week. It's really unbelievable. Because the more I think about it, you think about Hamas leader asking for an uprise in global protest. you see the horrific videos of what's going on in Israel, between Israel and Hamas right now. You look at, you hear the stories, and yeah, and we know people, mutual people have been in the middle. There's organizations that are actively right now trying to get U.S. citizens out of Israel. You look at how everything is kind of, look at the, what else has happened this week that there hasn't been a lot of talk about? Money. Or there's been talk about it, but have you looked at the money and what money's been going where? I'm not going to dive into the money thing today because we don't have enough time to do all that. I will be doing a show on that, happy hour this week. I know I said I was going to do it this past week. I didn't get a chance to because this week's been a real kick in the crotch. But next week is already scheduled for next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm telling you that right now. Hold my feet to the fire so you guys can hold me accountable to it. But look at the money that's been distributed, and where is that money going to? Are we at war right now? We might not be like ourselves currently at this moment, but we are when you really dive into it. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but that's how I look at it. And as far as the holy war goes, this has been going on for centuries, and it's really coming to the forefront today. And you have to ask questions. I think one of the biggest problems we have in today's society is we're not asking enough questions, and some questions that get asked tend to lead people down or you get called a conspiracy theorist or just an imaginable X, Y, and Z. Here's the thing: you look at what's the easiest way to hide something from someone. What is the easiest way to hide something? Right in front of people, right? Ryan makes a good point here. There's sleeper cells everywhere. And if you guys don't believe that, that's fine. Don't believe us. Look it up. Start knowing the history of what's stuff that's going on. All right. Let's change the tone a little bit. Let's change the tone a little bit. It's Friday the 13th, and quite honestly, today and everything that's gone on this week just kind of comes together, right? Anybody got any favorite horror films? Horror films. Horror films. Some of you are going to take that the wrong way. Some of you are smiling and laughing right now. Stop it. That's not what I meant. Scary movies. What are some of your scary movies? Post them down below. Let me see what you guys have. All right. JD, the original Exorcist was great. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm not into scary movies. I'm not into the horror flicks and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I think it's awesome. I got a friend of mine working on a uh, sci-fi horror film right now that's in post production and should come out the beginning of January or for first quarter of next year, I think. Not something I'd probably watch, but he showed me some behind the scenes footage, and it was absolutely amazing. A lot of respect, but you're not going to catch me in a movie theater. JD, yeah. Let's see here. Christina, IT, Catwalker, and Rose Red. I'll throw that up there. I've never heard of any of those. and probably for good reason. And you don't like scary movies. Yeah, I'm not a scary movie kind of guy. So, anyhow, keep them coming. Stephen King movies. Stephen King movies are classics, as well. The books. JD the Nun. I don't know. Is that really a scary movie? I feel like you're messing with me on that one. All right. Keep them. Listen, those of you that watch this later, if you're watching right now, keep them coming. Keep the comments coming. If you're watching this later today or sometime over the weekend, leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite horror film is. Scary movie. Scary movie. Come on, people. Might not have got it. And if you have a comment about what's going on in Israel right now, leave a comment on that as well, please. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. It blows my mind of what happened, what's going on over there, and it's you know we'll get more into the conspiracy theory, I guess, Wednesday night, because I'm going to tell you, follow the money, and when you do that, certain things just pop up that make you want to ask questions, as we should. But that being said, I'm going to get off the that topic of what's going on in Israel by saying this. I think what Hamas is doing to people, the elderly, to babies, is absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. Period. I hope this ends very, very quickly. All right, moving on. Podcasters, if you're out there, if you're looking to start a podcast or you have a podcast, you want to grow your audience, come join us here over at Heroes Media Group. We'd love to have you. Excuse me. Yes. Love to have you guys. We got some new shows coming up here mid-November, and I think one in December, which is awesome. We're looking forward to those shows joining us, and I'm looking forward to telling you more about those shows as those times come closer. Authors, we just signed a new audio book that's going to be coming out sometime of summer of 2024. So we're excited about that. We're going to be starting that here pretty soon. So those of you that are authors and you want to turn your manuscript into an audio book, please let us know. Reach out to us. You can reach us at info@heroesmediagroup.com. We are hiring here too. I'm still looking for a few more producers that do video editing for podcasts, as well as social media and some content creators. So if you're out there, if you're interested and you want to be part of an awesome team we're blessed to have, send us an email, info@heroesmediagroup.com, or you can just leave me a message, DM us here on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, whichever platform you're watching from this morning. So let us know if you want to be a part of the team. All right, let's get into some of the shows this week. Great shows this week. I'm excited about these. First up, we got the Hero Academy. Let me do this here real quick. I almost forgot. There we go. Hero Academy. This week, Law and Disorder, a career in police work, with Mr. Cecil W. Rambo Jr. He was sworn as chief of airport police in November of 2019. Chief Rambo retired from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in 2014 at the rank of assistant sheriff. In the 33 years with the Sheriff's Department, he developed expertise in areas including municipal patrol, emergency management, community partnerships, and employee union relations. This was a pretty cool episode. Learning more about a gentleman that's been in law enforcement and how he's changed things to help things for the better in his community. Check it out. It's the Hero Academy with host Super Dave. All right, what do we got next? Next up, we got Beyond the Rut with our man Jerry. This week, unlock the profound wisdom of a Disney mom and former Walt Disney Company retail leader, Valerie Cockrell. She unveils the remarkable leadership lessons from motherhood and her career. Some of the things that takeaways from this particular episode this week you're going to get clear expectations are important in both personal and professional relationships. And then raising children and leading a team requires flexibility and learning on the job. Amen to both of those. Great episode this week. Check it out. That's Beyond the Rut. Who do we got next? Label Free Podcast. This week, Mama D Diamond, a professional motorcyclist, former bodybuilder, trainer, keynote speaker, and author. Mama D shares her incredible journey of overcoming challenges and finding true happiness in her 60s. Love this episode. It was a fun episode to listen to. Check it out. It's Label Free Podcast. What do we got next? Other side of the firewall. I'm going to say this. With everything going on in AI and technology and everything like that, this is one show you definitely need to be listening to. They do an episode Monday through Friday, every single day, 5 days a week. They got an episode that comes out and very easy to listen to. I've learned a lot. Monday was NSA and CISA release of top 10 misconfigurations list. Tuesday, Google donates $500,000 to RIT's cybersecurity clinic. I'm definitely going to look into that one more. But it was fun to listen to as well. Throwback Thursday, and then on Fridays this morning, they released one where everything goes. Check it out. The Other Side of the Firewall. Next up, we got Carry On Politics. This week, Virginia State candidate Gwen Hickman, a 40-year resident of Virginia, understands her state and the people she will service. She's an attorney with over 30 years of experience in criminal immigration and personal injury law, including various pro bono work. Learn more. Listen to Carry On Politics. Next up, Pushing Back Chaos. This week's topic, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. This one, y'all need to listen to. Mike and Melon get together and cover the difficult topic of distinguishing pain from suffering. This was a really, really eye-opening episode from these guys. And it's something you're definitely going to learn from. Pay attention to this one. Pushing Back Chaos. Check it out. Next up, we got Time to Shine Today. Listen, I've already said happy birthday to the United States Navy earlier in the show. And I'm going to say it again. Happy birthday, United States Navy. Time to Shine Today with our host, Scott Ferguson, a.k.a. Fergie. Huge congratulations, because this week's episode marks episode number 400. Such a huge feat. This guy, Scott, is larger than life. He's the man is a giant. All right. When you meet him in person, I'm not, I'm 6'3", 6'2". This guy like towers over me, and he's built like a house. The guy is just amazing individual. I can't say enough good things about our man Fergie. So, Scott, Time to Shine Today. Crew, congratulations on 400 episodes. This episode, number 400, is sharing, Scott's sharing his journey with Alan Stern Jr. Alan started his path in fifth grade classroom, discovering the power of mastering the basics. From there, he worked with legendary athletes and trained at Nike basketball, focusing on the fundamentals. Alan's best-selling books, Raise Your Game and Sustain Your Game, are absolute gems for personal and professional growth. The biggest takeaway that I got from this episode, number 400, was remember stress is a choice. How we respond to challenges is up to us. So we can learn. Let's learn from our past, look forward to the future, and tell ourselves a better, more empowering story. Awesome episode this week. And again, congratulations, Scott. Time to shine today, crew, on number 400. What do we got next? The Power of Investing in People podcast with Shay Sparks. Wrong. I'm going to tell you about this right here. New show coming in November called The Shay Sparks Show. Shay Sparks is coming back in November with a new season, rebrand, and we're super stoked. Some of the episodes that she's got are absolutely amazing, so stay tuned for those. What do we got next? Because Bikers Matter podcast with our man Vegas. This week, Gavin Fax, a multi-talented individual with a passion for motorcycles. She is not only a motorcycle enthusiast, but she also is a stunt rider, an MCA recording artist, actress, physical education teacher, and jewelry maker. This lady does it all, and she's freaking badass. I love this episode because Bikers Matter. Check it out. Next up. Yeah, here we go with our man Rich, the Misfit Nation podcast. This they do a couple episodes a week. The most previous the most geez, I can't talk. Most recent was last night's, and it features a true hero, Andrew Stahl, U.S. Army combat veteran with a decade of service under his belt. He's completed 2 intense combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and everything about his journey is nothing short of extraordinary. He wears many hats, but the most one that he cherishes is his role of being a father. He's got a beautiful 9-year-old Ray Lee, and since transitioning out of the military in 2016, he dove into put his toe in law enforcement for a little bit, acquired a certification as a personal trainer, and currently is behind the wheel of a commercial vehicle. His dedication to serving his community is unwavering. He's a champion for mental health. His passion for physical fitness is matched only by his commitment to helping those struggle with mental health. Drawing from his own battles, he offers invaluable support and understanding to individuals facing similar challenges. Great dude, great episode. Misfit Nation podcast. Check it out. What do we got next? Next up, we got MSEC podcast. This week, Command Sergeant Major retired Lamont Christensen discusses the importance of mental health and well-being within the military community. He includes strategies to find positive ways to change and bring healing, and how post-traumatic growth is an integral part of the process. And we're going to get into that. If you haven't heard of post-traumatic growth, look it up. PTSG. Good stuff. Love this episode. Great episode. Check it out from our friends over at Military Child Education Coalition. Next up. Friends over at the Arms Room Show. This week, they're discussing medical tools for off-grid and backcountry. Seem very appropriate given the week that we've all seen. This was a cool episode. I've always been a big proponent of this show. The Arms Room Show is one of HMG's OG shows. They're one of the first ones that came on this platform. Um, you're going to learn a lot. If you're not following the Arms Room Show, go over, follow their Facebook page, follow the stuff that they do, get some training. You'll thank me for it. Trust me. Check it out, the Arms Room. Next up, Chasing Happiness with our man Ryan. This week, Unique DaCosta. Unique's known for her fiery personality and unparalleled creativity. She shares her story of turning everyday spaces into platforms of artistic expression. It was cool. Excuse me, cool episode. Check it out. Chasing Happiness. What do we got next? Our man Joel Evan. Yeah, Joel Evan show. Real quick, I gotta say something about Joel. Community hero, and he's doing a. If you're not following Joel, do so. He, especially you fathers out there, he's got a program for fathers right now that is absolutely awesome. Or he's working on it. And it's about to launch, but pay attention because he's starting to talk more and more about it on his platforms. So check out the Joel Evans show. This episode that I'm about to talk about, the more I've learned about water, the more I realize how much I don't understand about health. What do you mean by that? It's a good question. He's going to talk about it with Mario Bronovic of Alameda Water. I hope I said that right. To discuss things water and why your tap water is doing more harm to you than you think. We talk about the the structured and or coherent water and the studies backing the supercharged water and how it affects your health. More and more things have been coming out about tap water. And what's ironic about that is here locally, we were informed there was some type of breach or whatnot, or the water was smelling funny and tasting funny and was kind of gritty. And it took 3 days and they came out and said, "Oh, it's fine. It's nothing. It was this. It's still okay." It's not. We've tested it. I've done a test on our tap water. We don't drink our tap water here. We have filters. But it's horrific that people are getting away with that. That is in itself is a crime, right? One would think. All right. So check that out. Everything water. You're going to want to listen to that, and you're probably going to get disgusted, and you're probably not going to want to drink your tap water anymore. What do we got next? People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6 every Sunday night, Central Standard Time, on the People's Patriot Project Facebook page. These guys do a show a couple times a week as well. Not the round table with the We Got Your 6 at 6, but they do several shows. They do a weekly wrap up with their stuff. But this particular show, We Got Your 6 at 6, if you've never seen it, Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, they usually have a couple of recording artists that come in. They do like a roundtable event, a lot of veteran stuff, first responder stuff. These folks, Mark and Andrea, community heroes themselves. They're educators, and they're just all around good people. And we're happy to have them on the platform. So go show them some love and check them out. People's Patriot Project. What do we got? The S3 with JD. No show this week. He's launching a new product early next week. So you'll catch him next week. Again, shout out to El Diablo Borracho. Try to get the little accent in there too. Go check it out. Veteran owned. Also veteran owned. Sisu Stamina. Go check them out at ulauniverse.com. Use promo code HEROES10 to get 10% off. I also got to give a shout out to Carrabba's down in Fayetteville. My tax fella, tax season's right around the corner again already. Can you believe that? It's crazy, isn't it? Anthony Moriello and his crew over at My Tax Fella been using him for the last 8 years or more, actually, I think. Absolutely love their staff. They're always good to me, all the businesses and the people that I refer over there. So go check them out, My Tax Fella. JB Auto Clothiers. You guys noticed that I'm looking a little sharper today. I got the JB Auto Clothier. Yeah, that is a maroon camo, right? Custom, made to measure for me. Go check out jbautoclothiers.com and stay very close attention to what they're doing. Veteran owned, made in America. They got suits, jackets, tuxedos, and soon custom shirts. So pay attention. JB Auto Clothiers. Please go over their Facebook page and give them a like. Alibi Tattoo. You got a tattoo? Need a tattoo? Check them out. Or maybe you got a tattoo that you need to get rid of. They do tattoo removal as well. Poke is my tattoo artist over there, Army veteran, salty Army guy. Love going in there chatting with him. Barry is the owner. Just a great group. So if you find yourself in Pennsylvania at all and you need some ink done, go check out my friends over at Alibi Tattoo. Forget Genetics. What can I say about these guys? Veteran owned. Love these guys. My man Barry, Army veteran, is a founder. If you're a hunter or an outdoorsman, this is the stuff that you need in your woods. You want to attract those big bucks to your property. Check this stuff out. Go to forgetgenetics.com and use promo code HMG. He's going to give you 10% off, and he ships all over the place. I absolutely love it. Go check him out. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. Come on. If you're riding, if you're on a bike, and I know a lot of you that do, you need to get Motorcycle Safety Lawyers on your speed dial. Check them out. Gotta Hold Brewing, our friends over in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. We're actually going to be doing a show out there probably early next year, like March timeframe. So stay tuned for that. But if you're in Southern Missouri or in Arkansas, go over to Eureka Springs, beautiful area, and stop by Gotta Hold Brewing. Tell them that HMG sent you. Feed the People, Buy the People. My man AJ has got, if you're not following AJ Richards on Instagram, go do that now, because know what you're eating and how everything's working out in the food industry today. You learn a lot from them. Check it out. Feed the People, Buy the People. Home Studio, they're helping out with the setup here, with the lighting, the camera stuff that I finally did. I appreciate Home Studio. Thank you. I mentioned Sisu Stamina already. Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle. All you anglers out there, especially you guys out east, come on up to southern Lancaster County, near Kirkwood, Pennsylvania. Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle, veteran owned. Jim's a great guy, great Marine Corps veteran. Love going down to see him and spending some time down there. And then Warriors on the Water LTD, another great organization. They take veterans and first responders out on the water fishing near down in southern Pennsylvania. So go check them out. Thank you guys for all of that. Stay tuned. We got some more stuff coming. And I'm going to be posting. There's especially Worth It Hollow, another nonprofit organization that does equine therapy and whatnot. They're doing a gun raffle. I'll post that. I don't have an image here, but I will post that here after the show. So anyway, a lot going on in the world today. Control your thoughts. Do some research. Share this, please. And then remember, next Wednesday, which is going to be October 18th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do an HMG happy hour right back here. Okay. In the meantime, until then, have a safe weekend. Get outside. God bless you. God bless America. Keep your head on a swivel. I'll see you guys next week.